And we are live. Welcome back, everybody, to Prince's Friend Exploring Music Through Prince. I have myself been pretty on top of trying to learn as much as I can about the Prince documentary that we were told was coming out in 2018, and then things happened, and then it wasn't, and then it was 2019, and then we were told that no, that's not going to happen either, and now it's 2020, but now it's not going to happen now because nothing's happening now. And now we've been told it could be end of 2021 or even 2022 just because they're taking time to do it. I mean, it's very interesting, the development on that. And I think I've done 3 other videos about the Prince documentary and the information that I kept getting. One was that, Ava DuVernay was going to be doing it and then she wasn't. The big one, I think, for me was that the way that Ava DuVernay was going to be doing it was where she was going to be really kind of trying to tell the story of Prince, but using Prince's voice in it and really trying to, pay homage to Prince and everything. Well, I know everybody is super excited about Sign of the Times and everything going, live yesterday. I've been listening to mine kind of like crazy right now and just having a ball with it. And I'll be having some more videos coming, of that nature later on. But something else that happened, though, was that I just so happened upon Kat Glover's Facebook. I follow her on Facebook and Twitter. I follow her in a bunch of places. Kat's really, really cool. Kat Glover being a dancer for Prince along the time that back in Sign of the Times and whatnot. So she posted on her Facebook that the documentary is going in a wrong direction, that she doesn't want to be associated with it, and things of that nature. So I do have the actual post here, but what I want to do is I want to I want to preface this by saying I don't like to talk about drama or cat fights or anything like that when it comes to alumni. If one alumni attacks another alumni, that's fine. They're gonna have their own stuff that they're gonna have to deal with, and the last few have kind of come and gone, and it's whatever. In this case, I feel like all of us have a vested interest in how this Netflix documentary goes, not only just as people who will watch that, but also for people who know, who Prince is and what he represents and whatnot. And I I guess maybe I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking definitely about myself. I want to make sure that this is going to be an amazing documentary, because the fact that Netflix is behind it, the fact that it's going to be, fully funded and this big thing and the estate's behind it and everything, this is the thing now that everybody's going to see. If I made a documentary about Prince, some people would see it, but it wouldn't be huge. This thing is going to be the huge thing, And hello to everybody who's popping up here. I am doing a live stream because my backup drive died. I posted on my Facebook if anybody saw. So I lost a lot of my Princess Friend footage and elements and stuff like that. So I'm doing a live stream while I'm kind of creating that stuff. So there was a question real quick that just says, what's the title of the documentary? There is no title right now. It is thus unnamed. I'm sure it will have a name soon, but it is currently unnamed. So anyway, so I think that it's, very important that this thing be as good as it can be, and that it be as truthful as it can be, and be as I guess really trying to show who Prince was. And I think I like that a lot. Now, from what I got from Kat's Facebook post, however, is that it sounds like it's going to be a little bit more. It sounds like it. Again, I don't know. I'm just going off of what was said because they apparently asked Kat Glover to be a member, or not a member, to participate as somebody to be interviewed in the documentary, and she did not like where it went from there. So just to kind of, I'm gonna go ahead and show the actual post that she did, and then we can discuss it a little bit here because I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts, both good and kind of bad about it. But I mean, I guess we'll just see where we land. So what we have here is Cat Glover says, I've been effed over by the people making the documentary for Netflix. I love Prince, and I am not going to exploit Prince, and I won't be a part of this for real. They asked me personal, inappropriate questions about Prince's death. WTF? This is Family Show. This documentary is disrespectful to Prince and his legacy. I'm not bashing the estate, and they have been helpful and respectful, but they need to stop this documentary. I'm trying to hold this in, but I'm hurt. I'm angry. This is not a documentary honoring Prince. This is a documentary to trash him and his legacy, and I'm not going to let that happen. What kind of serious documentary honoring his life and legacy asks the following questions? And then she lists 3 questions. Did you know what the song Sister was about? Yeah. Okay, we'll get back to that in a second. Do you think Prince was murdered? Did you know about any drugs? And then, what is it? Yeah, okay, so the next part. Does that sound respectful? Hell no. Have they asked anyone else involved questions like that? Sounds like TMZ trash right there. Then they put a contract in my hand expecting me to sign the rights off and no pay so they can just use my footage, and I didn't sign that stuff. So I did not authorize any use of anything they filmed for or asked, and I have not consented to do anything. There's no signature. She's hurt. She's angry. They are the devil. The documentary from this Tamara is whack. Again, the estate have been excellent, but they need to get on top of this. There you go. So that is the response from Kat. And when I read that, that really made me scared. I almost jumped on and I did this live stream, like, I think it was yesterday. I almost did it like yesterday. But what ended up happening after that was there were 2 other people who I also see as kind of trusted sources who kind of came and said something different. So there's Ruth, who we know was Prince's assistant for a very long time. She writes random PSA. The Prince documentary from Netflix is in good hands. Solid award-winning staff, not pandering, nor am I part of it. They are not interested in salacious narrative. Context is everything, especially with a sober eye, in case anyone was wondering. Also, Breonna Taylor deserves justice, definitely. So that's from Ruth. So Ruth is saying it's in good hands. It's not going to be salacious. That was something that I was like, okay, that kind of made me feel okay. That kind of made me feel, a little bit better about what we were seeing. So just to kind of get off of, the direct quotes here for a little bit, and then I'm going to come back to it in a second. There is a difference between asking questions that might seem salacious and possibly going definitely for a salacious narrative. So if we were to examine some of the questions that are here, the ones that Kat kind of gave to us as examples, something like the first one is, did you know about the song, what the song Sister was about? Yeah, I mean, that's one of those songs though that, like, it definitely was a song to press some buttons. It was definitely one that made a lot of people raise an eyebrow. So it's not as if that doesn't seem to me like that is a bad question if you're going to try and go in the direction of trying to examine maybe where Prince was coming from and in his early records and where some of his songs might have been inspired from, and to kind of say like, hey, do you know if this has any, root in anything, or was he making stuff up? I don't see that one as being that bad of a question technically. I mean, like if if they had asked her, what any other song was about, would she have been angry, or was it specifically because of Sister and that? Like, that's kind of the question here. I for myself, I don't feel like any song is off bounds. I think you're allowed to ask what kind of the meaning or the story behind any song is. But again, I wasn't there, so it kind of depends on how hard they were maybe pressing it. If she was just like, I don't want to answer that, but then they maybe asked again, and maybe they asked again. Who knows how it actually went down? So I can understand being unnerved by that. And that, on top of many other things, might have been the straw that broke the camel's back. But like that question by itself, I probably wouldn't have had any issue with. Do you think Prince was murdered? I think that's kind of an interesting one, because in my mind, if this is going to be a documentary about Prince, I feel like speculation is bad. So asking anybody if they think Prince was murdered, or asking anybody if it was an accident, or was it suicide? I mean, there's a lot of different theories out there. Did he fake his death? Like, I feel like none of that should even be on the table if we're really here to celebrate Prince and his legacy and his music and whatnot. So see where I was saying, like with Kat's comments, like I'm kind of with her and I'm kind of not with her at the same time. It kind of depends on, the actual things here. The last one is, did you know about any drugs? That one too, I feel like is kind of connected to the murder part. But I mean, we definitely know that there were drugs in his system, because that's what, the autopsy and everything says. I don't know. It seems like too, I know that a lot of documentary people will end up asking more questions than what they need. And what they're doing with that is they're asking questions in order to get multiple takes on a lot of different things, to kind of also have context for the questions that are being asked that they plan on using. So, I mean, there are a lot of different things that they can grab from this. And hello to everybody who is showing up. I'm seeing a lot of people showing up. And I'll end up going through questions and whatnot, when I'm done. But this has kind of it's been grating on my mind here for days now at this point. But I do see, Michael Dean's here. I saw Night Child here. Mei Ling's here. Tony's here. I see y'all. I'm not ignoring you. So yeah. So, in that respect, I get why Kat would be angry, because these things, again, I think any one of them individually might not be anything to make me raise an eyebrow, but all of them together, plus any others, like who even knows what else they were asking in addition to these questions. I feel like, I fully back her decision. I wouldn't want to be a part of anything that I don't feel completely, comfortable with, myself. So I wouldn't want to be doing that either. If it was something that I was like, no, thank you. So just saying. So, but again, going back to Ruth, and I don't know why I just put this down. But then again, like I said, going back to Ruth, she says she's not part of it or anything. She's not she doesn't make any decisions. She's not part of the production crew or anything. She's not in charge of the documentary, but she believes that it's in good hands. She's also had interactions with the people, I assume, from what's here. The fact that she's saying it's not pandering. She's saying she's not pandering. Anyway, the second person who kind of said something that I wanted to also bring up is Jill Jones, because apparently Jill Jones was also interviewed for it. So Jill Jones's Facebook post, I believe this was from yesterday. Yesterday, I had a great day filming a piece for the upcoming Prince documentary. The team couldn't have been more respectful and thorough with the questions. It appears they really have done their homework and even addressed me on some of my past posts and quotes about working for Prince. I got a chance to clarify and even reflect on many things. All in all, I feel this is a wonderful way for each and every person affiliated with Prince to share their story with the man and their experience. As I always say, nothing would have been the same and nothing would have been created on this journey with one person absent from the picture, nor one person more. everyone had their role. It's certainly a daunting task for an outsider. However, I feel that when all the pieces come together, sorry, I've read this before. Um, there will be a puzzle that seamlessly fills in the gaps and provides some insight into how Prince moved through this earth while he was here, as well as many, many characters that moved alongside at various points in his lifetime. I hope so. Karmically, let me see, where am I? Yes, okay. So karmically, I feel that he intended to live life to the fullest, as he had no intention of coming back and repeating this one. He really went for it, and everyone, as an affiliate, collaborator, friend, family member, associate, lover, and even friends, helped him to do it. I wish to bestow only good vibes for a story that must be told, and to bring honesty, love, and peace to the pretty remarkable life he did live. I also hope that it brings closure for some. I also feel that this documentary might allow us to look deeply into our own personal perceptions and recognize its the source. And recognize its source. I can say that yesterday I did experience an epiphany, and it has been quite healing. So I want to thank the team and wish everyone involved my very best wishes. So, reading through Jill's response, it sounds like her interaction with it was very different, right? So that's, oh my gosh. So that's the thing, right? Is like, she definitely, Kat totally within her rights to say, like, this is not me. I am not going to be a part of this. And you know what? Good for you, girl. Stand up for your shit. For your stuff, family show. So but no, so it's one of those things, because everybody has their own comfort level. And some people have not fully healed from, I know it's 4 years later, not everybody is out of mourning. And like, from everything that I've seen from Kat, there's definitely still mourning happening there. So to approach her to ask questions about Prince sounds wonderful. I'm sure she was happy to answer all those questions with a big smile and be like, this was what happened, and these were great stories and everything. And then when you start throwing on these more kind of controversial questions, I definitely understand why she would be like, all right, like, again, one question, all right, it's a second, that's a third one. All right, now I'm pulling the plug on this. This is not cool. And that's not to say that, you know, everybody else was completely okay with these questions, but also it's about each person's kind of place in their mourning right now. That's how I'm interpreting it, of course. And I did see here in the chat that it said that Michael Dean said that they're going to be actually talking with Kat later on. I don't have Kat's number like they do. So, so for me, I can just kind of go through the stuff that I've seen here, which I feel is very interesting. And again, this isn't to talk about or cause drama or anything like that. It's more just to keep everybody really, really like on the nose, make sure everybody is on the same page. I don't want anything in this documentary to come as a surprise or to trigger anybody or anything. And it sounds like to me that it is definitely triggering some people who are involved in it, and some people who they're interviewing and who they're asking to participate in the documentary. What I will say is that I still believe that the documentary will be good. Again, there's more than just, you know, the reaction of one person who was associated, but I wouldn't discount what Kat is saying either. So I'm going to continue watching the story, figuring out what's going on, and anything that I obviously can add to this, and I can, you know, if I find more information, then I'm gonna definitely share it with y'all, as I've always done, especially with this documentary, because like, I don't know, like, I don't know why, but I feel like I've pinned a whole bunch of like hopes and dreams on this documentary. I have so much hope that this is going to be an amazing way to tribute Prince and to honor Prince on a large platform. And I really, really hope, like, I was so down when it was going to be Ava DuVernay. Tamara is what Kat said. I actually did try to go and do some additional research on like who's the new director and all that stuff. I still haven't found that information. So if anybody knows, put that down in the comments. I'll definitely love to know the names and stuff. And then I can start doing more research on that. But I did try. I couldn't find anything. It's a mystery right now. So I still feel, again, from what Ruth says and what Jill says, I still feel like it's going to be worthwhile. But from what Kat says, it's definitely making me be slightly more cautiously optimistic when it comes to engaging with this documentary. And what is it going to mean for, for all of us who know a lot of the stories, and we know a lot about Prince. Like I don't know, all of us who cared for Prince, we really want this thing to be amazing. So that's what I'm here to talk about. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. These things popped up to me and I felt like it was more important, like I read them and I had feelings about it. So I feel like I needed to come and share with you not only that there's now new criticism, but also that there's people saying, actually, it's not that bad. So we're seeing it from both sides. As Jason just said, and as I say many times, there's this side of there's this person's side, there's this person's side, and somewhere in the middle is the actual truth. And that's how I always feel about most situations. So with that in mind, I am going to run through the chat real quick and just make sure if there's any questions that need to be asked. The first one is from Cameron King. You said, why are they stalling? Nobody's stalling. They actually started working on the documentary, and then while they were still working on it, Ava DuVernay pulled out. So she was no longer heading up the documentary. So there was kind of that period where they were like, well, we need to find somebody else, a new director and a new, filmmaker to come and put this stuff together. So I'm sure that there was some time in there. Also, COVID, like it delayed like everything. So definitely, I don't think that it was purposefully stalling. I feel like it's just circumstances and people's schedules. That's pretty much what's happening. And hello to everybody who is here. We have 174 people here, which I think that's quite a bit. So there you go. Did I get my digital copy? Did I get my copy of Prince Sign of the Times Deluxe? Yes. I mean, I didn't get my physical copy. I'm still waiting for that. But I did get the digital files. So I've been listening. So there you go. Let's see here. But yes, I agree. I dislike when Prince musicians verbally fight. Yeah, I mean, I'm just like you. It's just grown people fighting on the internet. I don't want anybody to. Flame wars on the internet will never win you anything. So that's how I feel about it. Nightchild, Cat's comments were concerning. Yes, and hello, sir. Thank you for coming. By the way, it's been a while. We need to talk. It's been a while. Yeah, they are concerning. I'm hoping that possibly what I said, what I shared from Ruth, and what I shared from Jill might help to dissuade people from just giving up entirely on what I feel could be a very worthwhile endeavor. But again, I'm definitely not going to discount Kat's opinions on it either. I definitely feel like there's something there, even if it's not maybe even as bad as, what Kat said. There's something there that we need to figure out what's happening. So let's see. Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, almost slipped through. Do I get my sign? Yes, I did get my Sign of the Times. I'm going to be talking about Sign of the Times in a separate videos. Trust me, I got tons of Sign of the Times to talk about. So I'm not going to belabor this live stream with a bunch of Sign of the Times talk. I really did. By the way, thank you so much to you guys who are doing what are those called? Super chats. Thank you so much. Hi to you, Susan, by the way. Jujubee, thanks. Thank you, Jujubee. You are pretty amazing. So just saying. Actually, I think that means Jujubee just became a member. Oh, that's what that means. Thank you, Jujubee, for becoming a member. You're awesome. So let's see. Let me see. So there is no focus in this documentary. I'm sure there's a focus. What I mean by, because I think you might be referring to what I was talking about before when I said that a lot of the time what a documentary maker is wanting to do, they're not just going to come and say like, hey, my documentary is about Prince. So I'm not going to just be like, well, tell me what you thought about Prince. Like, no, I'm going to ask very pointed questions. And some of those questions I might use. Other ones I might just be asking to gauge the question, the person I'm questioning, and like, what is their response to this question, to this question, to that question. So it might not even be that they're going to go in that direction, because I've had conversations with documentary makers, so I actually know how that works, or not personally, but secondhand information on how that works. So I think that it's okay to ask all the questions, but it is going to be up to them basically on, if they went to everybody and said, do you think Prince was murdered? And everybody said, what the hell? No, what's wrong with you? They're going to be like, oh, well, let's not talk about that because we're going to look like clowns because we're asking questions that everybody's telling us we're dumb for asking. So they're obviously not going to include that. But if they asked, do you think Prince was murdered? And everybody's just like, well, here's my theory. It might actually become a documentary about theories of Prince's death. But again, I feel like in an endeavor like this, something this huge, speculation should just be just thrown out. I don't want any speculation. I want everything. I want people to be like, Prince said this time, or I have a story where he personally did this for me, or I talked to him about this and he said this to me. I don't want anything like speculation. That's, do you think that Prince? No. What did Prince do? How is Prince impactful in the world? That's what I want to know about. So that's me. I don't know. So let's see. Like it or not, the Prince documentary is going to mention drugs. Yes, but there is a point where you can mention it too much. For instance, like since Prince passed, every news article that I've read is all, it's Prince's records are coming out and they're selling a bunch. And obviously, famously, Prince died of an overdose. And I'm just like, why? That had nothing to do with the news that you were sharing in your article. Why are you just mentioning it over and over again? It just seems like there's a certain point where you're just saying it now for nothing. Now you're just saying it to probably get SEO because it's in the article. So if somebody types that in to search for it, then your article is going to pop up. And that's just, come on, y'all dumb. Anyway, let's see. I don't even know. It's just ridiculous. So yes. So the Prince podcast, I just wanted to mention this because Michael Dean was in here. Me and Kat are going to record a whole interview about this today. I will say we paused at the last minute. Things hopefully are being worked out with everyone involved. Okay. So, okay. So you were going to record with her, but probably the documentary people have reached out to her since she posted. Okay. I'm seeing what's happening here. In any case, I do think it's still worth talking about, even if they are able to kind of be able to work things out. And hopefully they are able to work things out. I don't want anybody to walk away from that, experience and it be bad. And I hope that Kat is able to talk with them and she can, give her issues with the questioning and then they can apologize and then maybe bygones are bygones. I mean, that's what I say. So, I mean, again, I am all for everybody being happy and I have big hopes for this documentary. Probably too much. Thanks as always for offering multiple perspectives that make up the truth. Thank you. And that's what I'm really here for. And that's why I felt like this was newsworthy and not, I don't talk about drama. I want to talk about concrete things. This person says that they had a bad experience. This person said they had a good experience. Let's compare and contrast and let's see, is there some kind of kernel of truth in the bad story? Is this something to make us worry? And at this point, I don't believe that it is. So let's see. Yes, Tony. This is exactly it right here. Tony said it. Jill and Kat are both real deals and full of integrity. And that's the thing, because if I have somebody who I very much trust their opinion and they say these people are terrible, and then I have somebody else over here who I very much trust their opinion and they say, actually, I had a pretty good experience. Well, then again, that could have just been somebody misspoke, somebody said the wrong thing and set someone off. Could be, again, different portions of the at different parts of the morning journey. I completely understand both sides of it. So bam. So I really just hope that everything goes really well with the documentary. I'm wishing the makers the best. I'm hoping that all of the people who are involved, who get interviewed and stuff, don't have similar experiences that Kat had. And if more of the people who have been interviewed and are part of it, if y'all can like share more stories of like the making of it. I know you guys might be under NDAs and whatnot. I love that that Kat's like, I didn't sign nothing, so that NDA doesn't apply to me. I'm gonna talk all I want to talk. That's why I love her so much. So that's why I love her so much. So anyway, yes, that's my thought. I don't want anybody to kind of walk away from just thinking that it's just going to be a terrible thing. And, hopefully everybody has a good rest of your weekend. But I'm going to call this live stream here. I think I have ruled enough of this at this point. I've talked about this enough. So definitely don't forget to hit like. Subscribe to the channel. If you want to support the channel, definitely don't forget to become either a patron. You can go to patreon.com/princessfriend, or you can hit the join button here. There's links in the description as well for you guys to become a YouTube member or a patron. It really, really helps when it comes to supporting the channel and making sure that I get to continue kind of coming and doing these amazing things. One last question. Marshall is asking, why did Ava DuVernay drop out? As far as I recall, she was working on the movie and then she pulled out, and in like a month or two later, she announced that she was working on a different documentary. And it probably was just that she was pulled to something that maybe she was more artistically drawn towards. She didn't actually say like, I'm pulling out because these people are terrible or anything like that. Like she pulled out, and then a little bit later, and she wished everybody the best. And then a little bit later, she was like, okay, cool. I'm going to go do this other project. And that project is, I believe she's still currently working on that project, but it's on track to win lots of awards. So, but anyway, I'm going to let y'all go. May live to see the dawn. I love you all. I'll see you guys in the next video after I am done kind of recreating my video elements. It's the worst. It's the worst. But I'll see y'all later. I have tons of Sign of the Times to listen to. So bye, y'all.